I'm here with Xeo Lye from Capital Gains Studios. Hey Xeo.
Hi.
So we've spoken to quite a few board game designers
Yeah.
and producers. You take it one step further. You help them to publish as well.
Yeah,
I know.
that's right.
I mean, you've created a lot of games yourself.
Yes.
But maybe just this little thing about what's the difference? Where have you seen the industry go and change over the last few years when it comes to people entering into the market?
Well, I guess it has exploded during the pandemic. So thanks to the pandemic in a way. So yes, people are playing a lot more games. Because when we first started way back in 2013, we find that it's very hard to get people to play local games. And a lot of times there's a lot of hard knockings. But I guess over the time, the attitude has started to change. And we started to see the change in 2018 and 2019. When card games start to become more and more popular. And then the whole scene kind of exploded during the pandemic when people are stuck at home and they wanted to do things, but I mean, you can only play that much digital game, right? I think I play a lot. Okay, by the way, yeah. So maybe sometimes you want to change your taste, you want to like gather 5 friends, there's a period where you can gather. So we just gather and play a lot of card and board games. So that's where we saw a lot of sales in card and board games coming back. And we also saw a lot of Singaporean designers coming along. So previously, I would say that there is probably less than 5 designers before like 2017. We can count with 10 fingers. But now we are seeing like maybe 30 or 40 new designers coming about. And every year, more and more is coming up. The reason why is because they started to play games. They see people playing games and they come to this show and say, that, wow, there's people buying games. And this could be something that, I can realize my long-term hobby. Let's start and get down to it and learn to make games. But the question is, where do we make games? How do we make games? Where do I start? Who do we look for? So these are always the emails I received when people start to ask us, we want to make a game. How do we go about doing it?
Yep. And this is going to bring me to the next question, about if I want to make a game, what would you say maybe one or two, or maybe just the top 3 things that people must keep in mind before they approach you?
Firstly, they must have a game that works. We have been approached by designers whereby the games are broken, meaning that it cannot be played to the end. So firstly, I guess you need to play with your friends and relatives first. We are not play testers. We are publishers. If you come with us with a broken games, it gives a very bad impression. Okay, so make sure that you play test your game and it works. Second thing that you need to look out for is each publisher has their certain criteria because we all work on a certain market.
Yep.
We only have that much marketing budget, so we will create a game that fits that kind of game. So for example, if you are doing a war game, we do not do war games. You need to find a publisher that help you do war games. You cannot expect a publisher who core market, in our case, finance games and family-friendly games, to do a war game for you because we don't have the right distribution, we don't have the right connections, so it makes it very difficult for us to do that. And thirdly, you have to, of course, you do not need to have a beautiful artwork, okay? Because at the end of the day, what we're looking for is the unique twist in the game that we can introduce to the market. That is something that's different because if you are a clone of another game, probably when people say, you are a clone of a game, why should I buy this game over your game? Yeah, when the other game is much more popular, maybe more affordable, and my friends know more about it. Because when you ask your friend, do I want to play Saboteur? Yeah, Saboteur is great. Do I want to play this unknown game but plays like Saboteur? Maybe I'll just stick to Saboteur, that kind of things. So that is something that's important. So although we also want to play something that's familiar, but we want to have this spark of creativity inside the game. They want to see this creativity. Because in order for Singaporean designer to stand on the world stage, we cannot be cloning other people's game mechanics.
I think that's very well said. So if you want to basically publish, if you have that in your mind, I know I do, that if you're going to publish a game, well, Xeo is one of the people you can reach out to. And I think more and more so, a lot of people, I'm not going to say jumping onto the bandwagon, but they're seeing it as a viable industry,
Yes.
a sustainable industry that, it helps us scratch that creative itch. And I think I've always been a fan of board games, and I hope it grows.
Yeah.
So, Xeo, thank you very much for supporting the industry.
No problem.
Take care.
Okay, take care.
Yeah.